Hi, Anisha. How are you? Do you see me?
Hi, Alex. Not really.
Uh-oh. See.
Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you fine.
Oh, okay, great.
How can I?
So, how was your Thanksgiving dinner?
My Thanksgiving was good. And then I had to travel to Maine, so I'm in a hotel room right now. But
Oh,
Thanksgiving was good.
yeah.
How was your Thanksgiving?
Not bad, not bad. Well, I don't have any family here, but I do go to visit my husband's family. So, we went
Okay,
there, had our dinner and stuff like that. Yeah, so it was good. Thank you for asking.
of course. Where do you live right now?
Um, Right now, New Bedford, Mass. It's like
Oh,
South
okay.
Coast. Yeah. And how about you?
I live in Boston usually,
Oh,
so
okay.
I
So
think
yeah,
that's where you are.
yeah.
Yeah, no, the person that interviewed me is actually from like Kansas or something. I was like, wow,
Oh,
somewhere far away.
yeah. Wow. Yeah. The person I'm interviewing, I think she. I mean, I think it's she, but the name sounds like she. But again, I can't. I mean, it could be both. So
Right.
the person can't really talk to me. So we are kind of like communicating via email. So,
Okay.
and yeah, he's very, or the person is very limited to, I guess, communicate. So it's kind of a little difficult with my assignment or our assignment, I guess. But it's great to actually talk to someone like you. Because I was
Can you?
hoping that it would be more like like face to face communication and stuff like that, and yeah, so it's pretty stressful, but it's going, I guess. Well,
Can you still not see me?
no, I can't. Let me see if
Okay,
it's
hold on.
something to do with mine. If I'm doing with.
I don't know. It looks in my preview box that I can't see mine either. Hold on a second.
Oh,
It must
okay.
be because I'm on a. Let me switch camera. Let's see if this works.
Oh, yes.
Hey.
Now, hey.
Hi.
I know it's a little dark. Maybe I should switch to another side. Like, give me a minute. Uh, Maybe now you can see me a little better, I guess. Okay,
Okay.
here. Okay, can you see?
There we go. Oh.
I'm with something, so bear with me with my voice and everything.
Oh, don't worry about it. I'm just gonna pull up my questions and everything, so just give me a second.
Okay, take your time.
So have you interviewed the other person, or are you just gonna do it through email because you're having the communication issue?
Yeah, it's going to be via email, so.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, at least I had this opportunity with you to kind of do this face-to-face
Yeah.
communication, I guess. But yeah, unfortunately, we have to kind of do it. Well, we've been doing everything via email, so I mean, not bad so far. But I was hoping to at least talk a little bit and just talking is slightly different than writing. Like sometimes
Right.
yeah. So, but anyway.
um, and then I'm assuming obviously you got my email and everything, so you got
Yeah.
all of that, which is awesome.
Yeah. Did you get my email back? I just
Yep, I saw it right here. Yep, informed consent. Beautiful. Love
perfect.
it. Thank you. Okay, let me pull up. Grab something really quick. Okay, so you might have read a little bit in our informed consent, but mainly we're definitely looking at the types of, the formats in which faculty present in online environments.
Yeah.
So looking at more of what do they use. First of all, do they use something like Blackboard like we use in our courses? Obviously, for our conversation, that's going to be true.
Yeah.
But what do they use? What are the benefits of doing asynchronous learning? So in terms of being on your own schedule, essentially, why did you choose that? Would you prefer something that wasn't on your own schedule? So a lot of the questions are going to have to do with that.
Okay.
So that's what we're looking at is really the delivery format of online courses that are asynchronous.
Okay.
I've already asked you for your consent, so that's fantastic. Other than what I can see, is there anything important about the environment you're currently in during this interview? Because as we've read in, I think a week or two ago, the environment in which the interview actually takes place is quite important. So it looks like you're in a living room or something, but is there anything that I should be aware of in terms of the environment you're currently in that may add to your interview?
No, I'm at my home and sort of like a kitchen and kind of like I'm in my kitchen table, I guess. So right now it is 10:39 in Friday morning. After Thanksgiving, it's awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna have my leftover lunch, from yesterday. I mean,
there you go. Loving it. So to start off with, why did you choose an asynchronous online program? So again, an online program that you don't meet at a certain time and kind of works on your own schedule.
So the reason why I chose online or distance learning because of my work schedule and my personal life. I think online class or online or distance learning kind of gives me that autonomy to be on my do things on my own pace, and then it also kind of gives me time to really focus on what I'm doing, like my assignments or things like that. Versus, if I were to go to like a class, like on time or like a everyday class, then it would give me that it would be like stressful, and then I will not have that autonomy to kind of focus on my assignment or my project. Then I would pretty much will be like rushing things, rushing to get things done. So I think I would basically say that online course gives me that autonomy to focus on my work, focus on my schoolwork, as well as kind of helps me balance, kind of like live a balanced life with my work and my personal life, and as well as kind of like seek higher education, I guess.
Definitely. Do you mind if I ask you what you do for work?
Sure. So right now I'm a dental hygienist. I also it's like my full-time job as a hygienist, and once a week I work for a city of Boston, Boston Public Health Commission, and right now I am working as a oral health director. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And for, again, you don't necessarily need to go into too much detail, but just kind of if you want to touch on the fact why, this online environment would also help you in your personal life.
My personal life, yes. How would it help me? I mean, again, it will kind of give me that like leeway, or as I said previously, like that autonomy to kind of basically give online class will give me the wiggle room, if I have to, if I, for example, if I have to attend like a family
Mm-hmm.
get together, I could do that because I know I can come home and study or work on my assignment today or tomorrow, like, so basically I would say autonomy.
Awesome.
I don't know if that
And what?
answers your question, but Alex, feel free to kind of give me kind of like, if you want, you can kind of like push me towards what sort of answer you're looking for, I guess, because I can't really.
No, I don't want to push you.
Right now, my ears and my eyes, everything is like blocked. I don't know. It's so hard to comprehend,
No.
I guess. But yeah.
No, everything's been great. Don't worry about it. And what program are you in? Are you in one of the health sciences programs?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Which one are you in? Are you in the doctorate, the master's?
Doctorate, yes.
Doctorate.
Mm-hmm.
And what semester or year are you in right now?
Actually, I completed my master's degree last year, 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's last year.
Okay. So and then what semester are you in the doctorate program?
Oh, doctorate. I'm sorry. I am in my third semester.
Third semester.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. And so why? What would you say for delivery formats that you would prefer, and why it benefits your education? So again, delivery format meaning, how they present information, whether it's, a PowerPoint or whether it's an actual physical lecture in terms of them, videoing themselves giving a lecture. If they present you papers, you just read a textbook, how do you like to learn?
What method I would choose? Actually, I believe the format they're presenting is well thought. I would prefer all of them because I am was what?
I like that. You're like, I want everything.
I do because I feel like I don't know. I like all of them. I'm not like one type of. Well, I am more visual person, which I think a lot of people are. However, reading also gives me different way of understanding the material, as well as if I am watching a video, it kind of gives me that audio sense of like, okay, So I guess to answer your question, I prefer everything, all the methods the class is providing me, and I think it's a very well thought I don't know, well thought class. I mean, if I were to talk about our class, I know we're not talking about our class, but I like the variety of different system, I guess. So I prefer all.
Okay. And if you had to pick in terms of, it seems that since you're saying you're a visual learner, if you only had like readings to do, or you could like watch a lecture, which would you prefer?
I don't prefer reading, by the way. I know I said I'm a visual person, but I feel like when you're reading, you can actually like underline the lines or the paragraph, or you can kind of like go back and read it again. Whereas if you're kind of like listening or watching the video, it might not be, you might like skip something, or so I think I prefer reading rather than watching a video or audio.
And why do you think that those formats are going to benefit you in your education?
Why would that help? Okay, so why that format? Again, I think that format will give me the comprehensive information about the material. And where, as I said previously, I can kind of go back and kind of reread them, or or I can use the material as a reference. So I could do a lot with the writing format, I believe, or at least in my opinion. So
Awesome. And how would you describe your asynchronous online learning has been for you compared to other educational delivery formats? So, for example, how do you prefer, this online education versus being, in class?
yeah, online is definitely different than like an on class, like going to a class, definitely, because it's a two different thing. However, I think online class is beneficial in a way that, as I said, maybe kind of gives me more time. Well, first of all, it's less stressful compared to going to in class, like, or going to basically in class, whereas online would be like, I don't know, like you're less stressful. I mean, you are stressful, but it's less stressful. You get to kind of pay more attention to what you're doing, versus, again, like going back to what I said before, like autonomy, more time to kind of, I mean, let me think. I think it has like its pros and cons, like I feel like if it's I mean, online class, I mean, I don't think it's as better than other. I think they both has its goods and bad, like good side and bad side. Like online class again gives you that autonomy, and you can definitely advance in your education. But in class would be like, you're there, you're more with other people. You also kind of like learn from, I know you're not probably asking me to kind of different, compare and contrast these two things, but
I'll take whatever you give me.
Okay, so just kind of like interject me if I'm going to kind of like out there, I guess, but I feel like, with going back to our topic, I feel like with the online, you have to kind of, the challenges about the online learning is like you're by your own. So if you're doing something wrong, there will be no one to tell you you're doing this wrong. So you kind of like have to keep going, or you kind of like find out what happened and then kind of like go back and redo everything or something. Whereas with the on class, I mean, where you kind of going to class, then you kind of like you have the teacher to kind of go over stuff, and your like classmates and stuff. So I guess they both has its pros and cons. I don't know. Do you want me to choose one?
No, that was good. So I just want to summarize just to make sure that I got kind of all the points that you're saying.
Okay, yes.
For the pros of online education, we kind of already discussed that in terms of, autonomy, working on your own schedule, less stressful. But definitely, the two or three cons I kind of identified in terms of online education for you. It's partially the social interaction, so you don't as much are being able to discuss with your peers, face-to-face, have face-to-face professor time. Can also make you to feel, somewhat alone in terms of trying to get feedback or trying to figure out something. And then you kind of also said, a little bit of the teacher presence. Obviously, there's a teacher in online education, but you're not like right in front of them. You can't just physically just ask them a question.
True. Yes.
Does that sound about right?
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. Can you explain an instance in your online education career in which you felt most connected to your peers? So this could be an assignment or a project or anything, just where you feel like you were actually connected. And this is something kind of important for you because you already said that, online education lacks social interaction. So was there ever a time that you felt like you were being connected to your peers?
To be honest, Alex, I never thought I was kind of alone. It sounds probably weird, but I feel like the most connected I felt connected to all everything I did. However, if you ask me if I were to like choose one thing, I would say maybe like Q&A, which with this class, like Q&A, question and answers, like that section we
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
With this class, we hardly use them, in my opinion. However, my like experience from previous semester, we were very like, we were always there, like like asking questions or um, sharing things. So I felt like we were more connected through Q&A section more than others. But in my opinion, uh, I like to be very optimistic. I don't know, like kind of like a positive person. I feel like I was like connected to everyone uh, in all aspect. But if I were to choose one, it would be like Q&A section.
Okay. So do you feel like in most of your classes you are connected to your peers? I know that you're saying that you're an optimist, but do you actually feel like you're getting connected to them, or do you feel like that they're just these people that are responding to things?
I do feel like we are connected. I mean, I don't know about this. I mean, I know again we are not asking about this particular class, but talking about, I'm just giving you the example. This class, I mean, yes, we are connected, but I don't really, to be honest with you, I don't really feel as connected. I don't know. I mean, that's just my opinion. But I feel like with other classes, I felt I was very connected with my classmates. But again, like when you look at the bigger picture, online class, I mean, you're connected, but you're not as connected as if you were to go to class.
Right.
It's not the same thing. And I think the classes are designed where they encourage more collaboration, like more communications and stuff. But the truth is we all are, we all have our own lives. We work and we school and we have our private life. So it's kind of like it's hard to be as connected as you want to if you are taking online courses. It's not. You can, no matter how much you want to. There's no way you can be as connected as you were to attend the class. So in terms of that, you definitely, the connection is definitely lacking. However, you're not really like detaching from yourself as well from other students. You are somewhat connected. So yeah.
Okay. Perfect. So going on that,
Yeah.
what types of assignments that you had that you found most effective in terms of your actual learning? So is it just writing a paper teaches you the most, or are there projects that you've done that teach you the most? What types of assignments do you as a student like to do that you feel like you're getting the most benefit from?
More benefit? I would like to say like project, but I'll probably go with the paper, like writing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel like some way you are learning, and again, I'm kind of like, this is not like probably relevant to the the topic or the question you asked me. However, I feel like you have to be somewhat connected to kind of like to kind of like proceed with the process. You have to kind of like what you're doing in order to kind of like progress in your education or your degree or something. Otherwise, you won't be doing what you want to do. But if you were to, as I know you asked me, what do you think? What would you prefer? I Again, I would probably say both, but if I were to choose one, I would probably say writing. And because you're more like, um, doing more research and you're reading a lot and you're kind of like, you're using your brain, I guess, I mean, lack of a better word. Whereas whereas project, I mean, like, well, they both are kind of like sort of like two different things, and you have to learn uh, from both aspects. You can't be just able to learn from one and not from another. You want to be able to learn from both. And I think I learn from both. But I guess to kind of answer your question, if I have to choose one, I probably go with the writing. To answer your question, yes.
Do you find collaborative assignments more productive than other assignments? So again, what we're doing right now is a collaborative assignment. So you're working with a partner to complete a project.
Yes.
Do you find those are more productive, or do you find them less
productive? To answer your question more or less, I would definitely say more. Definitely not less. However, if I were to elaborate why I think not less, I guess if I don't. So if I were to, so basically to answer your question more, I would say collaborative is definitely beneficial. Yeah, definitely beneficial. But oh God, I lost my thought. I was thinking something. Maybe it will come back to me. Sorry. Got a brain fart suddenly. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't elaborate on that. I got a brain fart. I just kind of like lost the trend of thought. So to answer your question, I'll just say more, that's all. Yes and no kind of.
Okay. And do you find it inconvenient at any time because you have to work with a person, or do you find that that's better because you get to connect to your peers?
I would say definitely better. In the past, I mean, if you were to talk about the class you and I are in, then it's like a different answer. I can give you another answer. However, if I were to kind of think about my past as like semesters, then I would say definitely. I feel like I definitely gained a lot from collaborating with my peers.
Okay.
But this is again maybe like you could include this on the interview or maybe off the topic. But this semester, I think the partner I got, I mean, the person is great, but it's just because I'm not really able to communicate, like. So it is very, very like, so it's all from emails and like, I'm like, can you come to like Blackboard collaboration, like, one of those kind of like you can use the audio thing.
Right.
Yeah, it's just kind of like tough. Like I'm not really able to connect to the person. It's like, I don't know who am I even talking to, like it, but
right.
Yeah, so it's a little, in terms of that, I feel like I haven't gained anything. I pretty much losing everything, but what can you do? It's almost end of the semester, I guess. I have to suck it up and do what I
know. I can't wait.
Yeah, I
know. Okay, great. So since asynchronous learning allows you to do your work on your own time, do you feel more or less connected to your classmates?
I don't really think it's more or less. I think we are connecting through like our Blackboard discussion board, like our discussion board. We are connected. We do sort of like reply to each other. I know we don't have that visual impact in our conversation. I would probably say, to answer your question, neither more or less. I would say like equal.
Okay. That's fine. And how about your professor? Since again, you're not necessarily online the same time your professor is, do you feel like that makes you more or less connected to your professor?
Um, huh. I mean, I just spoke to him. He was very kind. He just like replied me right away. So if I have to think about that, um, not less, maybe like equal or more. But in the past, I would say equal again. I'm sorry, just because I don't think they're doing what they can. It's not their fault, and neither it's our fault. We all are kind of like doing what we have to do. So they're doing as much as they can to kind of be there for us. But again, the nature of the study is distance, so we can't really be there when we need it. So I would probably say equal. There's no more or less, or like neutral.
Okay. And did you ever find that there was a time where you didn't have a connected professor? Again, since you're not, sitting in front of them or scheduled to be on a time, did you have any instances in which a professor was, more distant than they should be?
Yeah, I'm sure I have, like when you needed, the professors are not there. Yeah, yes, definitely. But I can't recall the exact, uh, the exact moment. I can't remember the time and all this, but definitely yes, I have felt like I was less connected to my professor because uh, because the feedback wasn't there. Um, um, what else? When you send email, the answer, I mean, you have to wait for a couple weeks or almost a month. One time I had to wait a month for an answer. But it wasn't like anything, like I wasn't waiting for the professor's answer to kind of do my part. So I could like still kind of keep moving forward. But yeah, so yeah, I had some moments where I didn't feel like I was connected to my professors.
Great. And in terms, you touched on a good point about feedback. In terms of feedback, do you feel like because in an asynchronous environment, you rely on feedback even more than you would if you were in like on the ground class or a class that met at a certain time online?
Yeah, of course. Because it's all about like communicating and definitely feedback, because you can't really see the person's face. You basically just kind of like relying on what the person is kind of telling you, so you don't really know exactly what so yeah, yes, definitely. You're highly relying on the feedback, because again, you can't really see the face, so you don't know what the person is thinking, or whether it's a good thing. Whatever you're doing, is it like a good thing or a bad thing? So yeah, I guess yes. Sorry, I know it's like I'm going around. Yeah.
No, that's fine. In your opinion, did your preference for the asynchronous online environment take precedence over your desire to feel more connected to your peers or have peer-to-peer interaction?
I would probably say, yeah. You know what? Go over the question one more time. I'm sorry. Could you please go over the
sure. So essentially what we're looking for is whether or not is your reason you chose online education, obviously because of the idea that you can do work whenever you want.
Yes.
Does that outweigh the ability to be able to, have peer-to-peer interaction? So essentially you would rather be able to do work on your own time versus peer-to-peer interaction?
I would. Good question. I don't know. Do you want me to elaborate on that? Because again, so in my opinion, it's kind of like depends where you are in life. It's
okay.
It's like if you're like a teenager or early 20s, of course you want one of those one-on-one interaction with your peers, because that's how it is. Like undergrad, you probably remember when you were in undergrad. That's how you do it. But now I guess you and I, or all our peers, we are in we're in different position, or different position in life, or trying to think. We're in different place in life, I guess. So we can't really do we can't really be like going, like attending like on class, like so I would say just depending on it's just where we are in life. And if I were to choose one, I would probably I prefer a one-on-one. I prefer like being on class, to be honest with you. But again, I don't mind online class. I guess in the beginning I was kind of like missing that friend or classmates interaction. But now I kind of like grown into liking this because it's convenient for me. And again, we can connect like this, like you and I are doing. And I think if you ask me, would you suggest? Then I would probably say that there should be more classes where this one-on-one, face-to-face interaction should be encouraged. Like we should have more assignments where face-to-face interaction is recommended or needed, or so
awesome.
But not have too much emphasis on just this, like face to face, because again, sometimes people are in different point in life and places, like they might not have the means to communicate like you and I. I think you and I are not lucky, but you and I are I don't want to be political here, but I think we are in a different, we are in a better country where we can use services like this immediately, whereas people from other part of the country, they're not able to get such a simple stuff like you and I kind of like think as a granted, maybe, maybe other part of the country, like people can't get it. Like my partner, he or she can't really get all of this. The only time I guess that person can, the only thing that person can do is like email, and it might be very limited time. Maybe only in the morning or only at night. Again, these are just my assumption. I have no idea about that person because I can't even talk, or I can only email, so I don't know anything, but I'm just making an assumption that might be the case, So did I answer your question, Alex?
Yeah. You actually
let me know if I didn't. Just say, hey, Anisha, go back to answer my question if I didn't. Please.
No, usually I'll just rephrase the question if you didn't answer it. So we're good. We got it.
Okay. Yeah, please do.
Oh. Yeah. So can you describe an instance or instances in which you believe your asynchronous learning provided a disadvantage to you compared to traditional format?
Yes.
Social interactions.
Disadvantage. Yeah, there were definitely like some times where, definitely times where I felt like distance learning was like not as productive as the online. The face-to-face classes, I guess. Do you want me to like give you a specific example, or can I just?
If you have one, if not, you can go general. But if you have an instance where you thought it was a disadvantage.
Yeah, I'm sure I have. Now I can't think. That's what.
Well, to start off with, what do you mean by productive? So you said that it's not as productive at times. How do you define productivity?
Yeah. So Productive, I mean like beneficial. So basically, like I can't remember the exact situation, but if just for example, like I was or we are given an assignment, and I needed some clarification, and neither I have my peers to clarify what we're supposed to do. I think this is when I was like early on my master's degree, when I was very like new to this online thing. So and I'm like, before I was so used to like professor like going over the syllabus or the kind of like the assignment. Hey, these are the things you need to do. But I guess also like part of like your undergrad and grad, like when you're in grad school, you kind of have to use your own brain to kind of do or read and kind of comprehend and do your stuff. Whereas, when you're in undergrad, you basically, professor tells you what to do, sort of. So,
Right.
maybe it's just the process I had to go through, but I had like I feel like I had a difficult time trying to understand the assignment, and I wasn't able to, and I couldn't get in hold of my professor, neither my like my peers. And finally, when I got in touch with one of my peers, in that person had the same sort of like same sort of situation as I was. Like we both were like unsure about the assignment, what we're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess definitely I have had those moments where I felt like it's not worth it. Maybe I shouldn't do it because I'm not learning. So I had my doubts, I guess, but
Mm-hmm.
not for. I mean, I haven't had those kind of doubts for a while now. So I hope it goes smoothly moving forward,
Yeah.
but you never know.
Great. So, did the online environment interest you more when you were looking for your next degree or certificate? So, were you only looking at online programs?
No, not really. I think this degree will probably be the last one. I mean, you never know. Again, I might be in a different point in life where I might not be able to like afford to go to like attend like a class physically. So to answer your question, I would probably say, I mean, I love online class. I mean, don't get me wrong, but probably not. I would say this degree will be the last online for a class, or yeah, online class I will be taking. Um, I
And
mean, I'm pretty
then
open
for
again.
this program,
Sorry,
what?
sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and for the program you're in now,
Yeah.
were you only looking at online programs for your doctorate? Were you looking at any on the ground or different types of formats?
Yep. To be honest, I was looking for just the online. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because again, I'm at this point where I can't afford to go to on class. I can't attend the physical class because my work schedule is very tight, so I can't. But
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah.
And then my last question is, would you be interested in an online program that wasn't asynchronous? So meaning that you actually had to sign on at certain times for a class / lecture, but still were able to do it from home?
No, actually, like if I were to kind of no, if I signed up for a actually go over the question one more time, because I didn't hear the part of your. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. So if you had the opportunity to do an online program that was essentially synchronous, so you're still at your home, but you had to sign on at a certain time to attend the lecture, Would you choose to do that versus something like this that's asynchronous, meaning you can go on at any point?
Yeah, I would probably. I don't mind. I don't really mind like attending a class, but I would probably prefer this, like what we're doing.
Okay.
To just to kind of like simplify things. I don't want to elaborate and confuse you more with the thing is I can't even hear what I'm saying, so it's like I'm just kind of like babbling. I feel like this kind of going on. I'm sorry. But yeah, I would probably prefer what we're doing right now, collaborative. It's kind of like, do it in your own time thing.
Okay. So you would say you like how, for example, your program is now. So you don't have to go to an online lecture and watch a professor at 7 o'clock at night on Tuesdays or something.
Yeah, not really. I mean, we had to do that once when like it was like a way back when. It's one of my master's degree class where like professor would be she would have like all class attend together, and which was great. I felt like we learned a lot. However, it kind of, I mean, I was working and I was kind of like rushing home from work or took time off from work to attend that. So it was stressful, So I would probably say, despite I like that sort of way of studying, but I prefer this just because again gives me that autonomy, but we can still achieve everything we want to achieve.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Is there anything else that you would like to add? Those were all my questions in terms of, the delivery format and what your preference are versus, asynchronous online education.
Well, not really. Like, I think I already sort of kind of like mentioned this to you like earlier, that the only thing I would probably suggest that the online classes should have more of what we are having, more like one-on-one. I mean, they should. I think this class Dr. Camacho maybe created. It's in a way. I mean, it's perfect because like half of our assignments are all like online and kind of like reading and kind of doing the assignments, and half is this, which I kind of like because at the end you're kind of like exposed to like everything. So something like this. I mean, not that because I'm in this class, I'm saying that, but I think I like this sort of like the organization of the class. Like half of this, half of that, and at the end of the day, you kind of like instead of kind of like weighing heavily on either one. I like this sort of like format. That's the only recommendation or comment I have.
I think that's great. Well, that's all I had.
Great.
So I thank you very much.
Yeah,
and
thank
we finished in a little under an hour, so that's good.
No worries. Yeah.
Do you have any exciting plans for the day?
Not really. I'm just gonna go back to bed because I'm working tomorrow. So I mean, not that I want to go to bed. I have to kind of get like physically, I guess, healthy to work tomorrow, just because I don't know what happened. Not yesterday, like day before yesterday, I kind of like came down with this, even though I got my flu shots and everything. I don't know why I kind of, So not much. I don't know. It's Black Friday. Are you doing anything?
No, I'm not. I don't think. If anything, I'll do online shopping.
Yeah, so not much. Me too. I want to take advantage of this Black Friday because I never gone out shopping, But let's see how I feel later, I guess. But I heard you're heading to Maine.
Yeah, I'm in Maine right now.
Oh, you are? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so I left Thanksgiving and I drove up to Maine last night, and I'm here for a couple of days. My brother's actually getting married, so they're looking at wedding venues. and so
Oh,
helping them
that's
with their wedding
nice.
venue.
When is he getting married? Like pretty soon?
Yeah, they have a July date set.
Okay.
Well, soon.
Not bad. July, it should be nice. I thought like soon, like in a month or something like that.
Oh no, not
July should be fun.
not in the middle of winter.
Yeah, I
No,
know.
it's a summer
I
wedding.
don't know about the time, but yeah, July should be fun.
Yeah. Well, have a great rest of the day. Get better.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. Great. I hope I answer all your questions. But yeah, and
Thank you.
yeah, anytime, and good luck with the rest of the class and rest of the
You too.
semester. And maybe
I know it's almost over.
yep, and maybe we'll meet again in our next, I don't know, next class.
We'll see. We'll see. Have a great night.
You
Day.
too.
Bye.
Bye, Alex.
Bye.